Welcome back to Face. Alexander has referred a couple of people that turned out to be great guests. I appreciate that you did that, Alexander. How are you?
Good, Dale. Good to be back with you. How was your the first quarter of your year?
Not bad. I had a headache for the first quarter, but trading was okay.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I broke my rule about not trading when you don't feel good, because then I wouldn't have traded for the whole quarter.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, how about yours, Alexander? You have a good quarter?
Yeah. It's markets have been great.
Yeah.
Been really loving the exchange rate with the yen. I decided to take a little trip over there, so I got back a couple about a week ago. It So that was really fun. It's always
Okay.
cool to take advantage of the exchange rates as a currency trader. I'm always sitting in front of my screen, kind of making the trades, but it's really cool to just kind of be able to pop over there and just kind of have that kind of overall view of how exchange rates work and where can I go to get a better bang for my buck.
Okay, so because of the weekend, did it translate
Oh yeah.
into, did it
Oh
really?
yeah.
Like hotel rooms and stuff, it translated into better prices using
We're,
the
we're
dollar?
we're at such an extreme right now, just with the yen being so weak. Um, if you go to like Western hotels, or if you eat, if you want to try to eat American food over there, or you go to the touristy places, it's still going to be expensive. Japan is definitely like the most expensive Asian country. But when you go to Japanese hotels, when you use their services, I mean, it goes a long way. Last time I was over there, the yen was at 125 or so.
Hmm. Okay.
You
Yeah,
definitely can see it.
halved it almost. Yeah, or a third anyway. So, do you have anything you want to show us
Yeah,
on
yeah,
your screen?
definitely. Let me get my screen here.
So, Alexander plans his vacations around exchange rates. That's a very a very interesting way to do that. So, travel agencies should promote that.
Right. It was
Well,
just a good opportunity. I told myself if we were to get over 150, that
yeah.
I'd take a little trip over there.
Okay.
So this should do
The breakout, Alexander flies to Japan. All
it.
right.
Right.
It is.
Right.
It is interesting. So,
So let's see here. So we just had dollar news come out. I know you guys were looking at that. Nothing really surprising for me. Following this trend, it just seems like they've been building in the good news. So, I guess it would have made sense to have a little bit of a pullback, where we price in the good news and then the news comes out and we just fall a little bit. But overall, the dollar has just been really strong across the kind of time frame board that I look at: weekly, daily, 4 hour, hourly. And as you know, I like to follow relative strength, which compares currency pairs. So I'm not using
right.
the indicator like you do, the
Yeah.
relative strength index. I kind of create my own relative strength just by comparing the pairs in the Forex market. So I'm not using ETFs, I'm not using futures, but I'm really trying to break apart. So you can just kind of see if you can isolate the dollar, which is that kind of brown line. It's just been trending higher this year, pretty much since the beginning. It's been making its way higher. So definitely, leaning towards dollar strength, especially the last couple of months, has really been my focus. And then talking about the yen, look at that green line. That green line is pretty much
Yeah.
just stuck at
Yeah.
zero, and it'll poke its head up a little bit. It actually, in March, kind of got out of the group of the three weakest, but for the majority of the time this year, yen has just been extremely weak. So it's almost like, going long any yen pair, you're going to have an easier time getting a win. Now, that being said, I prefer to pair it with something really strong. So I've been posting on Twitter lately things about pound yen, things about
Copy.
dollar yen definitely. I've
Yeah.
been kind of watching this really big cup and handle formation that has broken out. Let's see here. I mean, this thing
Yeah.
is
So the
beast.
breakout was 152. So I was talking earlier in the room that uh, it measures to 164 if you take that whole formation from 140 to 152 and the call and consider 152 a breakout and tack on 1200 bips, which, is what we had from 140.
I
Oh,
mean,
okay. No, you're going all the way back. The cup is 124, the bottom of the cup.
oh yeah,
Okay,
no, it's
see, because I was
126.
okay. That makes it, takes it a lot higher. I was just using the range of the handle
Oh yeah, yeah.
and
That was another cup and handle. You just have the inception
uh,
of
you
technical
have
patterns here.
yeah, you have a fractal of the big one.
Oh,
I like that.
it gets
Yeah,
even bigger. If you go to a 12 month, you'll see the inverse head and shoulders that I've been kind of playing with here. So just that really big inverse head and
yeah,
shoulders has kind of controlled my bias since we broke out. And that's just kind of why I've been posting all the kind of bullish technical patterns. These are great, and they definitely help kind of illustrate the the environment that I'm working in. But I really try not to, a projection of this inverse head and shoulders, takes us to like 175 or 180, and moves like that. It seems like we're going for it, but it's just so hard to
yeah,
project that far out, you
yeah,
know.
yeah. Okay, and uh, what do you think about? You have any fear of intervention when you're long U.S. dollar yen? I think that kept a lot of people out, but it wasn't the right thing to do to fear it. Um, so do you take that into account? I think a lot of people stopped trading when it was playing with 152 because they didn't know. They bought it if the BOJ was going to stuff them like they did last year when
Yeah,
we had that pretty good sell off last year.
I mean, I guess you always have the chance of intervention with the BOJ. It seems like they always have their hands in it. For me, I just don't, I don't really, I just discount all of that. As a
Okay.
trend trader, I'm really just focused on the visual trend. You can see even just on the weekly chart. But if we go pretty much any time frame, whether it's the daily, as you get smaller, they get choppy. But you look across the time frames, and all the time frames are up. So for me, it's just about seeing the opportunities and just trying to manage the risk. I'm not on a 5 minute chart.
Right.
I trade 1 hour time frames and above, primarily like 4 hour or even daily. So when it comes to intervention, I just don't really have the fear like I would if I was trading a 5 minute chart. They'll
Okay.
they'll blow your pants off if you get caught up on a 5 minute chart. But I'm really big time frame. I don't really worry too much about the news. Even in just my experience, going with the trend, the news tends to help me more than hurt me.
Great point.
Any kind of adverse moves created by the news are typically just a jerk in a bigger trend that will take me to an entry point anyway. I like to do a lot of supply and demand trading. So
Right.
I have to wait, my setup forms, and then I have to wait for price to get back to like an area like this. So a
Right.
lot of times it's that drop is made by news or the equity market reacting a certain way because the yen is highly correlated with equities as a risk on risk off kind of thing. So
Okay.
I hear you, and I get a lot of people on my Twitter when I post about dollar yen or just yen in general, how well they're staying out of it because of this or that, or maybe even shorting it. And as you were saying, that's just not the right position. And sentiment has shown us. Let's see if I can.
I want to ask you, Alex. You're so relaxed. I just have a hunch that you use reduced leverage.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. If you want to stay in this game, as you can't go swinging for the fences. I have I manage my risk by position sizing.
Okay.
Definitely, in my view, right under psychology is money management. And
Yeah.
I almost could just throw away the technicals, in my
Okay.
view.
Okay.
You heads you're right, tails you're wrong. As long as when you're wrong, you lose one, and when you're right, you win three, or some kind of multiple. You just put yourself in a better position. So I can withstand a lot of the
Yeah.
whipsaws because of that.
Yeah.
Uh,
I know a lot of great traders that, have such large accounts. They don't even use leverage.
Yeah, ideally, I mean that's the way to go. Um, I don't really have the connections I used to, but I used to when I was instructing and teaching. I used to come across a lot of different people, and some of them would even work for banks.
Yeah.
And I would get a lot of insight into that. And as you get better and your account grows in the industry, a bank trader doesn't get more leverage, they just get more money.
Right.
These big traders, as you're saying, they're not leveraging. And if they can, zero leverage is going to be the best. It's just, it's so difficult for most people, and especially those typically going to the Forex market,
To get
because a
rich.
lot of people come to the Forex market because, oh, I can get 500 to 1 leverage from
Yeah.
this broker in Cyprus, so I'm going to sign up for them. But
Yeah.
I've learned a lot of that, just by seeing and working with Don. So you mentioned a couple
Yeah.
of people that you've had.
Yeah.
He's been a really big mentor for me over the years. I probably met him around 2010 when I was just uh, a nobody, and I still am a nobody. But I was just starting out with trading, and just kind of seeing how he works in the market and how
Yeah. He's
relaxed he is.
very big into seasonals.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that guy is a wealth of knowledge. I just hope that he leaves the knowledge of seasonals in his will for me.
Yeah. All
Because
right. Well,
but back to the calmness. I really learned a lot about that from him.
okay.
Keeping the position size small, living to trade another day, and
Right.
just looking to kind of
Yeah. Well,
run the trade.
it's like buying a stock. You don't know people don't margin every stock they're in. They pay for it,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they can handle drawdowns better that way
Hmm.
than to And in stocks, I don't know what do you get 2 to 1 leverage if you margin it and you pay a broker loan rate. It doesn't even make sense
Yeah,
um, to leverage stocks. So
yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
I'm glad we talked about it. I did write a song called "Use Less Leverage" when
I
I was
love
on
it.
the FX street, and I don't know if I remember it, but people used to have to go see psychiatrists because they couldn't get that tune out of their head.
That's
So
funny. Well,
anyway,
just to end that, Jerry Parker says, "Trade small, trade often," and that's kind of a slogan of mine.
okay, like it.
Yeah.
Um, any view on what happened with gold? Did you catch any of that?
Oh gosh. I buy gold regularly. I
Yeah,
typically buy it in weekly or daily demand zones. So the last time I was buying it was around 2000. Um, since then, I haven't bought any just because of how fast it's been going up.
yeah,
Silver totally caught me off guard. I've been a big kind of I'm not touching silver at these prices, and then it just really took off.
yeah,
But gold for me is different. I hold gold as a way to protect some of my purchasing power, where I just see silver as complete speculation. So where I'm willing to own gold as it's moving higher, as long as it gives me that little dip. Silver, I'm not really willing to just chase. Uh,
okay,
so I still left my pinned tweet up there because I do believe that the market just doesn't stay right. This was definitely one of those trades where the majority of the people called it. Everyone was trying to go long, and typically going long into highs just doesn't work out like all the other times. People are
yeah,
saying, "Oh, the momentum's building this, and silver is about to break out that." So kind of like, oh shucks, that would have been a nice trade, but honestly, I was waiting for this star, and we just never got there. So silver, I've been left in the dust. Gold, I've been buying slowly. Nothing really physical though. I haven't bought physical since around 1700. So
okay,
recently or lately, I've been using Kinesis,
yeah.
and they use blockchain. They use blockchain to digitize gold, basically.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
oh,
a neat company. You should definitely check it out. They pay a yield in gold, and the yield is debt free based on the fees of those engaging in the network. So if you buy or sell these gold tokens, it generates a fee for Kinesis. Well, Kinesis takes a portion of their fees every month and distributes it as like a holder's yield, if
oh,
you will. Um,
interesting.
yeah, it
There's
is.
so
It
many
is
new.
really
It,
interesting.
it wasn't a good thing to do with Bitcoin. That was kind of, and they're doing that again,
Oh
offering
yeah,
yields
well
out of
those
Bitcoin.
aren't debt free yields. The yields that you get from normal cryptocurrencies are made by by them doing something else. Whether it's them selling, like trading the Bitcoin that they're holding for you, or what have you. But with
Yeah.
Kinesis, all the yields are based off of fees that were generated throughout that month.
Okay.
Kind of I don't want to turn. I don't work for them. I'm just a customer. But I'll bring up this my silver tweet. Here is just a little picture. So they're called KAU, and I basically just posted this saying, I'll buy gold, but I'm not buying any silver. So
Okay.
I don't want to hide that fact. We'll see what happens, but unless it gets down to that star, at least for right now, I'm still
I'm
not willing
telling
to
you,
own
man, look at
silver.
Alexander's picture. Doesn't he look like a game show host?
Yeah, I'm kind of reclusive. I like to hide behind pictures. So growing up, I used to watch a lot of Jeopardy with my
Okay.
grandma.
Okay.
And so
I,
I mean, he's a good looking guy too. Wears a suit. I
oh,
don't know if I
two.
could do. I can't get with the tie, but I
All
have my
right.
suspenders on right now.
All right. So, any comment on uh, the stock market, which went parabolic, and Bitcoin that went parabolic? Any views, or just stay with the trend?
Uh, with the equity market, I typically focus on higher valued, like dividend paying stocks. So
Okay.
don't really typically look at the
The
index a
indices.
whole lot, other than just
Okay.
to get a quick kind of trend gauge. Like I was saying, the yen is very correlated with the equity market. So as the equities go higher, we're kind of in a risk appetite, and that will help weaken the yen. So really just kind of looking at this, I would be just layering on more information with the yen. I believe the
Okay.
yen is gonna continue to weaken over time. It's gonna have its little fluctuations, just as the equity market's gonna have. But I see like those major yen trends, the weakness in the yen, just to remain overall. And then
Okay.
I'm going to be focusing on the stronger currencies paired with that, like CAD yen. CAD yen has been a really good just trend overall. You can see
Okay.
it's already recovering from its little dip that it had. So where a lot of the other yen pairs had a bigger push lower, the CAD yen was just able to stay within
Like
its
a
range.
rock,
So very
steady.
bullish CAD yen,
Yeah.
very bullish dollar yen. Some non-yen pairs. I've been looking at pound New Zealand. So we just broke out of this inverse head and shoulders. And if you kind of like step back on the weekly chart, you'll see like there's like a monthly uptrend, just looking at the bigger zigzag. So we have this inverse head and shoulders breakout, nice little hammer here. Looking at the daily chart over here, got a nice trend. So, closing above 2.1017 would be a good kind of the momentum's on for a higher time frame pound New Zealand trade.
Okay.
Um,
All right.
what
So
else?
pound stronger than the commodity currencies.
Yeah, pound has been a just kind of a leading force. If you kind of look at the chart again, you'll see
Yeah,
pound
third
has
row.
just kind of stayed in the group of the three strongest currencies.
Yeah, I
So
see that.
definitely looking at pound to buy, euro and dollar. Not a big fan of euro dollar. Notice how
Okay.
both currencies are kind of the strong currencies at the moment. Big fan of shorting New Zealand dollar.
Okay.
Um, I really, really like New Zealand dollar. And it probably has already broken down just because of the news. So we're
Yep.
getting some volatility here, not a lot of follow through. But this
It's trying to
daily chart
reverse here.
here,
Yeah,
it,
I see the wick bottom left. Yeah.
yeah, this daily chart looks really good to me. New Zealand could definitely rally a little bit, but I would say it really shouldn't go much further than 60, 0.60. Maybe if it wants, come up here a little bit, and then I would
Okay.
expect it definitely to move down. But I
Okay.
would also be okay with just following that momentum if we do continue to see nice little zigzags here. So this is the 4 hour chart.
Okay.
I
So
wouldn't really want to
Kiwi
go short
uh
just now on the
yeah,
4 hour.
Kiwi's weaker than Aussie. It's
Yeah,
already
yeah,
making
yeah,
those
yeah.
lows. Okay.
Yeah, and that's typically the case. New Zealand with less liquidity seems to go to the extremes a lot faster. So New
People
Zealand
drinking
will
less milk.
whipsaw. What's
Maybe
up?
people are drinking less milk. Isn't that
Maybe.
one of their major exports?
Oh yeah. I mean, do you
Milk.
follow that?
No, I don't. But it's just what I think. There's less milk demand. It causes mucus anyway, dairy
That's
products. So
funny.
anyway,
So there is a website, the Global Dairy Trade website.
yeah.
And actually, what you will see,
Look at this. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a nerd. I'm a nerd,
Yeah.
man.
All right.
But let's see here.
Look at that.
Uh,
You have milk.
it,
Yeah, milk's going up like eggs, everything.
yeah, I mean, across the board, you can see milk, dairy products have definitely
Yeah.
gone up in price since the last auction in New Zealand. Going up, in aggregate,
Yeah.
2.8% for uh, what what was the last? Oh, I lost it. They typically, oh, here it is. Um, Oh, so the next auction's actually tomorrow. So they
Okay.
had this auction here that they're showing the 2.8% increase.
Hmm.
That happened like on the second of this month. So these
Okay.
auctions are typically
Every 2 weeks.
14 days
Yeah.
apart from each other. And you will see New Zealand will follow kind of these prices.
Interesting.
But right now, dairy's increasing, and just New Zealand's not really showing that.
Okay. Well,
Just
bring
the
your
dollar is
Bosco.
so
I
strong.
would bring my Bosco to the next auction, if you know what I mean.
No, I
Eh,
don't. What it?
It's a chocolate syrup. All
Oh,
right.
okay, okay.
Anyway, just to make chocolate milk.
Yeah,
So, great to be able to catch up with you, buddy.
yeah. Always, it's always a pleasure to come and just kind of chat with you. I
Yeah.
know, we do relative strength a little bit differently, but really just trying to find the trend, go with the kind of swim downstream.
Yeah. Yeah. Go with the flow of the river. And you could find Alexander on X at Who's Trend, right?
Yes.
WHOS Trend. And he has patience. He used to teach. Are you open to people getting a hold of you and sending you DMs?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it's open.
Okay.
I don't teach anymore. Here I
Yeah.
am,
Yeah.
everyone. I don't
Yeah. Did
teach
teaching
classes
give you
anymore.
did teaching give you did you start becoming agitated teaching or lose patience?
It's gonna get there.
Yeah,
I was actually a lot of my surveys were how calm I was, and how patient I was.
okay.
For me, the frustration really comes around when certain certain individuals are just not made for this.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so my frustration was always, how do I get more? It was more of the, because not everyone makes it. My frustration was always, how can I make this more impactful? How can I give the most amount of people a chance to actually learn this and be able to apply it? So that's actually where my frustration was, is
Okay.
that it's just a lot harder than the majority of the people think it is,
Yeah.
or even the people out there in the industry. And I get it. There's an incentive for people selling a product to want to make this seem easier than it is. And for some, it is mind blowing. I had students that would take a class once and never show up again. And you reach out to them, you think something's wrong, and they're like, no, I got it. I got what I needed, and I'm profitable. And there are others who, you know,
Yeah. The other
go home, they
story.
don't follow the rules, they
Yeah.
they risk more than they should, or they use money that they shouldn't be using. So that was really the frustration for me, is that I believe a lot of people can get this, they just don't. There's something that keeps them there, just kind of spinning their wheels, not able to get over just kind of the smaller humps to get
Well,
going. So,
I have a song recommendation for you to check out after the
okay.
interview by Van Morrison. And the title is Why Do I Always Have to Explain? And I think you'll enjoy that. I play it. I really love that song. Anyway, it was great. I have no complaints about talking to you for 30 minutes, Alexander.
Well, thank
Really
you.
appreciate
Thank
your,
you.
and the people who took that poll are right. You have a great temperament and demeanor to be able to talk about this without, a lot of guys sound like hucksters. So appreciate you coming in. You've been coming in for a while. I want to thank you for edifying our community
Thanks, Dale.
with
Thanks
your
for having me.
with your
Hope to see you
personal
again.
experience. Okay, Alexander Perna, everyone, and follow him on X at Who's Trend. And that's a wrap. You could join the team in about 14 minutes on the Morning Edge. Remember, don't just count your pips, count your blessings. And I'll see everyone for Turnaround Tuesday. People are thanking you, Alexander. So,
Thank you.
all right, and
It's been
that's
a
a wrap.
pleasure.
Adios, everyone. Good hunting.
Take care.
You take care too, buddy. Thanks.
Hey traders, this is Blake Morrow with Forex Analytix. Thanks for stopping by our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like these videos, share them, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of the content that we provide here for free. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you in the next video.